Voters in Londonderry will meet up at the Old Town Hall in South Londonderry for town meeting on Tuesday, March 5th, beginning at 9:30 a.m. to vote on a town budget, elect two select board officers, and take action on other items on their warning. Two of those articles will involve adding a 1% local option tax on meals and sales of alcoholic beverages, along with a 1% option tax on general sales. In a separate action, and by Australian ballot, they will also decide on a bond vote on two articles pertaining to improvements to the wastewater systems for the North and South villages. To fill us in on some of the details around all of these, we met up with Tom Cavanaugh, the chair of the Londonderry Select Board, and Shane O'Keefe, the town administrator.
Sure. Our budget is $2.7 million proposed for this year compared to $2.3 million, and this is just the general fund before we get to all the add-ons such as contributions to social service agencies and the like. It's a 17% increase, but what that also includes is some items such as the Sheriff's Department, which had been a special article over past several years, is now being brought into the budget itself, and that's over almost $60,000. And the reason for that is that we've voted on that for a number of years, and the idea is it's a standard service that we offer at this point, so the idea would be to include it in the budget itself. And there are other items that are affecting the budget. Health insurance is up 36%, which is a big number. But we're also trying to play catch up on some of the like highway supplies of salt and things like that. We do also have a new position in the budget year over year with the rec department, and I could go through them all, but that's where we are at this point. Roughly a 17% increase year over year. I think once we end up to setting the tax rate, I don't think it's we're looking at potentially a 7-cent increase approximately at this time.
That local option tax, what it will that vote, if approved, would extend the number of things that could be taxed with a local option tax?
Yeah, right now we only have 1% on rooms. We don't have it on food and alcohol or on sales. And it'll just help bring in extra money, and it won't be just the community paying it. It'll be second homeowners and visitors who come up. They'll be paying into it too. Just a way to help offset the increase in taxes year over year.
And are there any other special articles that'll be kind of unusual or different or unique in some way?
Well, there are two articles, 19 and 20, have to do with local option taxes. And as Tom says, it's a way to allow for non-residents to contribute to the town's budget. And already with the local option tax for rooms, we've brought in $20,000 over half a year. And so you can project out what that's going to be for the full year, and that's newfound money, if you will, that visitors are helping to contribute to the town.
There's going to be a bond vote also this town meeting, coinciding with town meeting?
Yeah, actually it's two separate bond votes, one for the South Village and one for the North Village. Mm-hmm. As many people might know, we got about 3.9 million in ARPA grants to do the wastewater.
For each village?
For each village, yep. So the small portion, if it passes, it'll be a small portion the town will have to pay compared to what it would have to pay by itself.
So, as we all remember, Londonderry got hit pretty hard during the July flooding last year, and to a lesser extent in December. Are there going to be any more resiliency measures that you're thinking about, or perhaps in the budget that might not have been in there a year ago?
Nothing in the budget, no. But we are working with Western Jamaica. We have a joint meeting coming up to try to figure out some regional mitigation efforts.
Right. Winter Regional Commission is helping to organize the three communities. The West River comes through all three of them, and water flows downstream, and what happens in Weston hits us, what happens in the two towns hits Jamaica. And so we're trying to look at it from a regional standpoint, not individual communities.
And short-term rentals also seem to have been a frequent topic of conversation for your, at your meetings. Is there anything new on that again, might come up at town meeting or?
Yeah, our short-term rental ordinance has gone into effect, correct?
It will be in effect as of February 17th, but the registration requirement won't kick in until July 1st.
So on the one of the articles is to see if the town will have a short-term rental what would you call it? Administrator.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So it's kind of been select board policy to include any new position in the town meeting warning. And so there is that one for short-term rentals to be someone who administers it. And the idea would be that would be paid for through registration fees. And so actually the select board discussed registration fees for short-term rentals last night, and we'll continue that discussion at the next meeting. We also have the town meeting warning a new position, a fourth highway road crew member. Something that's been talked about for many years, and so we look forward to that discussion at the town meeting. Well, we are keeping with our highway improvement fund, reserve fund, sorry. We did a capital improvement, capital planning program for paved roads a few years ago, and each year we're adding to that dollar amount of money in our reserves, and we have a 15-year plan, and so we're keeping with that process, and it's we're hoping that the voters understand that and support the idea that we need to stay on top of our town highways.
There will be a special information meeting held at 6 p.m. on February 29th to discuss the wastewater bond votes. That meeting will be held at the town hall. The bond votes for the wastewater improvements and the presidential primary voting will be by Australian ballot. The polls will be open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. For the GNAT-TV News Project, I'm Andrew McKeever.